Is there a difference between a fuck buddy and a friends with benefits for you? Not really.
Nah.
No?
Nah. I think because, like I said, I like to have that connection. I can't just, even, obviously I'm promiscuous, I'm in the industry. I've never really had like a one night stand. Like I
Really?
don't, yeah.
That is
I
really
don't
hard to
really
believe.
go and just fucking, nah. I have to connect.
You never had
I
that
have to
intense
know
chemistry
them.
with someone like that day and be like, hi, you know.
Like I went to Iron Appa and did seasons and did those kind of days. Like I feel like that can't really count. Different country, different, you know.
There's still a one night stand.
Okay, but like, but even then I was a worker. So the people that I was sleeping with, it wasn't like random tourists. It would be workers, and I still hung out with them for the next 2 months and, you know, was friends with them. So yeah, like the people that I sleep with casually, which I guess is all of them, like I have a genuine connection with all of them, and I'm not afraid for, like, I'm a person, like you said, is it a lot to take that energy? Like I say, I can take it. Like I'm, a lot of people confide in me and bring it. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean as well.
And I'm like a lot of the people I sleep with, they feel comfortable enough to like ring me up and talk to me if they're having a bad time or whatever. Like there's,
I feel like for a lot of guys, you're like the perfect friends with benefits, because they can talk to you like a bro, and then be like, oh, we can have sex and it's calm. It's so chill.
But I still want those. I still want to be held, and I still want to go out for dinners, and I still want them to check in on me and all that kind of stuff. So I still have.
Okay, so you still want them to almost date you?
Yeah, I guess if you want to put I guess it's the label of that.
Okay,
it's the dating with the unexpected and of the future. You know, like I'm not expecting.
You mean the potential?
Yeah. Like if that makes sense.
So the 5 guys you said that you're currently sleeping with, are you only involved with them because you see a potential future with all of them?
No.
Oh, isn't that what you just said?
No.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because they know. I don't know how I'm trying to word this. Like, but then all those people that I'm sleeping with are creators and sleep with other people, and it's like they know that I'm not forward thinking, that I'm not like thinking of a ring or like, you know, because I feel like a lot of girls, when they say, oh, they want it casual, I don't want it serious, they're actually lying. Like they're just saying that because they think the boy wants to hear that. When they know that's actually authentic. Like I actually.
But then you just said that you kind of still want them to date you for the potential of something in the future.
No. I didn't mean that. Like I meant like.
Oh, okay.
No. I still want the cute stuff, but it's also because I'm going to Costa Rica, and everyone I sleep with, they know that. So it's like there's no 5-year plan because I ain't gonna be here. Like, and I know they ain't coming. So it's I feel like they can chill and they can relax. Like I'm not gonna break her heart. Like my heart ain't gonna get broken. Yeah,
of course. Is there anyone, you don't have to disclose this if you don't want to, but is anyone out of those 5 guys in a relationship with someone else?
I don't know.
No. You don't know?
No, they're not. No. Few are in situationships.
Okay, so they've got someone else that it's not just work, someone else that they're actually like emotionally investing in.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
And I ask about them, you know, like I'm happy to communicate because I'm not a jealous person either.
So you're cool with, you're cool with your guy sleeping with other people. Let's say a guy that you're having this situation with, right? Who you're like, oh, potentially there could be something long term. I know you're going to Costa Rica, but hypothetically.
Okay.
Right? And like I get that, you're like, oh, you still want the cute stuff, you still want you to check in, make sure I'm okay, let's like have date night and stuff like that, of course, because that builds the connection to have better sex and better intimacy, right? But then if he's doing that with someone else, that's not exclusive to you. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want it exclusive to me.
I mean emotionally, I mean all that intimacy, all that.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
Interesting.
Because it's also like I haven't done it yet, but polyamory is something that I'm very open to as well.
Multiple being in a relationship with multiple people.
Not just the ethical monogamy thing. Like,
yeah. When you entered this sex ethically non-monogamous space with and all the people you've met in your network, was there anything that surprised you?
I guess my first kind of examples. So when I was living in Australia, I moved there because I went through a really awful heartache breakup. Like it broke me. It was dreadful. So I ran there to escape. Always being a sexual person, I got on Tinder. This is where I was introduced to like couples, and I met this incredible couple. And before this, my outlook was always, I'll be the extra girl, never in a relationship. And they are who changed that. They've been together since they were 15. It's like 15 years, and they still took each other's breath away. And just the level of like I said, trust, like he'll be shagging me and she'll be happy to walk out the room, and like there's no, and I was like, wow, they must be so secure. And just they never argued. They were just the healthiest, strongest couple that I've ever known.
Yeah.
And I find that with any couples that I meet that are really open, I find there's actually more love there. There's more communication. There's more all of the good stuff because they've given that level of freedom.
Yeah, I think that I agree actually to some extent, because I think that's a necessity for that to work. You can't be in an open relationship and your communication is whack with each other and you don't have that level of trust, because I think a lot of people can coast through a relationship because they feel an element of security, so they don't have to work on certain things. But when you have the freedom to be like, this person could meet someone else and that could be it, there's more of an incentive to be like, okay, let's make sure that we're both happy and we're both working on this. You know, that's very coherent for our future. Yeah, I mean, I would be open to it after we had kids.
Okay. Well, that's a big one, because you were quite like,
well, I think I was
damn
thinking,
no.
I think I was thinking like moving forward.
Okay.
I'm quite an open person. Like I'm quite, open-minded. I have my principles and values and stuff, but I'm not so much, I can hear another perspective and be like, okay, like maybe I can take something from that actually would aid me. Because, most of the people in my circles as an actor are very liberal-minded, very open. Like I said, I've dated people where it's been very open before, but it wasn't really a serious relationship, I would say. But I think, I don't know, I'd have the conversation. That doesn't mean I'd do it, but maybe I'd be open to the conversation. Because I think if you've had kids, you've been together for like 2 decades and stuff, you've got to a point where, you're kind of happy in life.
Spice.
Yeah, you could be like, I want some spice, or, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't eliminate it from the table, but I don't know if I would do it for sure. I'm open to a conversation.
Still, being open is good.
Yeah, 100%. Do you ever want kids?
100%.
Oh yeah, you just said.
No doubt. I've wanted kids since I was like 13. I've already got my girl's name picked out.
What about the boy's name?
Without a doubt. I've got ideas boys, but it's not so cemented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. To the point where if I get to like 35, 36, it's burn bank for me.
Okay.
Like, definitely will have a child, even if I need to do it on my own, which I don't want to do because I do believe the child needs male role models. Hence why I said, like,
what, 3?
But imagine how beautiful that is. Like, do you know what I mean? To have 3 different examples and like.
I think that's right. I think most people have multiple male models in their lives. I'm just saying,
if they're lucky.
If they're lucky, true. Not everyone that, it's not everyone has that blessing. But the example you gave is like 3 different fathers is who's gonna take the responsibility of being the father. And I think that is actually really important, especially if you're going to have a son. That's actually really important.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Well, because only men can raise boys into men.
Okay.
And there are things about being a man that as a woman you will never understand. And vice versa, right? There are things that I will never understand as a man about being a woman. And it's not even just about how we feel, how we think, how we operate, but also how the world treats us. The world treats us very differently in certain aspects and environments because of our sex and our gender. And so because of that, there are environments where we have to move differently. So for example, as a man, especially like I'm the 6'2" black guy, right? So I'm very conscious that if I'm walking down the street at night and there's a woman coming towards me, I will cross the road to let her know that I'm not a threat. Whereas if I was a woman, I probably just wouldn't even think about that.
Oh, that's so sad though.
Well, it's just part of it. Yeah. It's just part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like the world's not fair in that sense.
That's why I don't want to be here.
What, the world?
No. This like Costa Rica, I don't think that would be.
I think you'd find it more there. I think you'd find more disparity between the sexes, because I think, especially UK is like one of the most egalitarian places on the planet, like where there's the most equality across the board. So you go into Costa Rica, you're going backwards in that sense. You're not going forwards.
Okay.
She's like, I don't want to accept that.
Yeah, but we're moving on.
So you want to have kids.
100%.
How would you feel if they saw your content?
Great question. Well, obviously, I'm going to come back to being in Costa Rica. It's not going to be like the technological life that we run here. Like social life and your social platforms are so important here to people. That's not going to be the way of their life. Like they'll learn from the land. Why'd you say that? Why'd you?
Because even third world countries are catching up to first world countries. So where a lot of third world countries are today was where first world countries were 30 years ago.
Right.
So it all trickles down. So everything we have today and the way it is today,
it's
right,
still there.
it's
You can
just
have in Costa Rica. They've actually got an incredible Wi-Fi. It's next to America. Like
they've got incredible Wi-Fi in Costa Rica.
The signal is actually incredible. It's actually mad.
Yeah, and like technology is advancing and it's becoming more accessible. So it's only a matter of time before they're gonna.
But I mean, in
like
my
this.
community that I'm planning to build, when I go over there,
You're gonna like have no phones, no internet.
it's not no phones, but just not the way of the life. Like this brick follows me and is in my hand all the time.
Yeah, but
this
if
is
you're
the world that I live in.
But
that ain't going to be the world we live in. That will be like a plant, or will be in the ocean, or it'll be a scuba equipment. Like we'll be living off the land and connecting to the land and the community that we build around us over the fake and artificial community that is within the brick.
I get that. So it's interesting because you're like, in one breath, you've kind of said, oh, I've built this whole online community and stuff and everything, so my partner would have to accept that. But actually, when I have kids, I'm going to disconnect from everything.
Yeah. Resent it. I resent it massively, if anything. Like I've been doing this 5 years now.
So you would give it up? You just wouldn't do it for a partner. You do it for kids.
No, because I wouldn't be doing it for kids. I wouldn't be doing it like at that point when I have children. It would be running itself. Like I think, but I don't know. How can I? You said the question was if they saw my content. Right?
How would you feel about if they saw your content?
How old are they?
13.
Boy or girl?
Both.
I have the open conversation. With
Okay,
them
how would you
first.
handle it with your son and then your daughter?
I guess I would hope that I had taught them by that point to be able to express their emotions in a healthy way.
Okay.
And obviously I'll let them be heard and validate their feelings, because obviously that will be an emotional thing depending on what they've seen.
What's the worst thing they could see?
Me getting absolutely railed by 3 giant guys.
She's going to say black guys.
I was, but I ain't getting called out for fetishizing. Being there, I was.
And she's in a room with 2 other black guys.
What do you think I'm doing after this?
That's like, hey, fair play,
Literally
boy.
that.
Fair play. That is so funny.
I'm about to make the content now. Yeah, so one, I would be curious how they would have seen it, because they would have even had to dug in, or someone in our circle would have had to shown them, because I don't plan my children to go to normal schooling, which is where I think most of this would come from. Like their teen would show it because their boys pick their phone up. Mine won't be like exposed to that.
Well, if you become
level of teaching,
if you become big in the space and you become like a superstar, it's gonna be very easy for them to come across.
Especially as I use my real name as well.
Especially since you use a real name, the real name. So like, I think, because unless you're gonna be like, hey, you can't have any access to the internet ever, the chances out of them finding it is incredibly high.
To be fair, I think actually I would. These are things I haven't really thought about in depth, but I think I would be pretty open and honest from the get-go of when I believe they'll be able to handle it. Maybe I'd rather them tell them before they're exposed to it, if they're exposed to it.
Okay.
And also they'll be living a life that is very privileged and lucky to be able to live abroad like that and to have the freedom and non-worries of finances and all that kind of stuff. So I want them to understand like how we've been able to have this life, obviously cushion it maybe, and like prepare them as they get older. But who knows? Like I'm very much in the moment kind of person. So to have these kind of questions and these thoughts, I haven't really spent much time thinking about it. But for me, I always say honesty is the best policy, and that's how I'll handle it, even with my children at any difficult age. Like, and just have to take it as it is.
I hear that.
But I'm not going to because a lot of people say like, oh, you shouldn't do this because of your future children. Like, I'm not going to change my life now and the freedom that I have. And I have so much freedom. I don't have to do anything. I can do what I want every day. Every day's been a Saturday for me for 5 years. And that's because of the sex industry. And I'm so grateful for that.
Yep. But the thing is, when you have children, as a responsible parent, you have to make sacrifices.
Oh, for sure. Your life's technically over and their life is the priority.
I mean, like, they're the priority. Not that it's over, but yeah. I know what you mean about honesty is best policy, and I agree. But I think, and especially depending on the age of your children, I think there are things we have to protect our children from. So like, for example, if I have a wife and 2 kids, right, and I'm struggling to pay the mortgage for the next few months, that's not something I'm going to disclose to them.
Okay,
That's for me, and
but that's
potentially my
also
wife.
a future worry. Like bills and stuff is inevitable. Like they're going to live in that life, right?
I know, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm really stressed, son, because like I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage next month.
Why
like,
would you communicate it like that though?
Huh?
You wouldn't communicate it like that.
I wouldn't say anything to them. It's not their job to worry about the security of the house. That's my job.
Okay, but like I said, I'm just using your example, like bills and something that would be inevitable for them later in life. And also for me, my content, I don't make porn. I have sex. Sex is how babies came into this world. Every human has it. And I feel like there's a lot of shame and stigma around sex.
What's the
as
difference?
a topic. What, between porn and sex?
Between what you do and porn.
Mine's genuine.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.